Live from the Georgia Dome, it's the GHSA AA football semifinals featuring the Lovett Lions coming in at 11-2, taking on the Hornets of Cook, checking in at 10-3. Big crowd on hand for this AA football semifinal. The Lovett fans made that little 10-mile trek down the road to the Dome. Meantime, the Hornet fans traveled some 250 miles from Adel, Georgia for the big game under the big top. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Jim Ginocchio along with Mark Lassiter. And Mark, what a great football game we have in store for you today on GPB. Two teams that really mirror one another.
If you like offense, Jim, we may have your football game. Both teams come in with over 3,000 yards in total offense. They may not have the skill players that jump off the page in terms of stats, but they have a lot of quality depth at those skill positions.
Offensively leading Lovett, we start with number 1, the running back, Andre Hicks.
Andre Hicks is the leader of the pack. He's the feature back out of 4 running backs that Lovett likes to use. Against Thomasville, he had 248 all-purpose yards, and he called it probably my favorite game of all time.
Defensively, we'll be mentioning number 30 a lot today. The name, Rico Braxton.
Rico Braxton is the tight end. He also doubles as a linebacker, but here's the player, 6'1", 215, is going to be called on for defensive leadership.
Earlier today, we had a chance to catch up with third-year head coach Mike Muschamp. He had his ideas about what he's going to do in today's game.
Offensively, we base everything that we do out of the I formation. We'll be in the I probably around 25–30% of the time. The rest of the time, we're in a one-back spread offense. We're probably about 60-40 run to pass. And then defensively, we base everything we do out of a 3-5 front. We don't have a whole lot of really big kids that love it, so we try and put more skilled kids on the field as many as we possibly can. And we're pretty multiple out of that defensive front.
And there's Mike Muschamp, of course, the head coach of Lovett. All right, now the other side of the ball, Cook. I mean, another explosive offense, and of course led by senior running back number 5, Thad Williams.
Thad Williams is the burner. He runs a 4.3 40, only 5'11", 175, but he's the game changer for Cook. He averages 8.1 yards per carry.
On defense, you can check in with number 7, Kenny Tippins. What a great senior linebacker.
Now, here's an interesting case. Tippins at 6'2", 215 has 67 tackles. Has the bench press. He has all his numbers and stats. The only question is, will he take any plays off? Will he bring the intensity all afternoon?
It's going to be interesting. All right, we talked earlier with first-year head coach Jim Scroggins. Here's his game plan.
Well, offensively, we're a wing tee football team. We basically, we're very run-oriented. We work hard on the passing game, but we're very run-oriented. We've hit some real key passes. We try to throw it about 10 times a game and hope that we get lucky. I've got a great quarterback named T.J. Payne. He's number 8, real smart and a great leader and fun to be around. I've got a running back his name is Thad Williams, can fly. I've got a freshman fullback, mighty good, and some young linemen that are just blocking their fanny off, and they play hard, fun to watch, a lot of misdirection. That's the type of offense we have. On defense, we have little guys too that fly around. Kenny Tippins will play middle linebacker for us, number 7. You'll notice him, and we'll be in a lot of man-to-man coverage, and we bring a lot of pressure. And we fly around and gang tackle and swarm tackle, and that's the way our kids play.
Jim Scroggins, the head coach for the Cook Hornets. Now we go downstairs to our third member of our broadcast team, and Lisa Weiss. Hello, Lisa.
Hello, Jim. Cook High School's first-year head coach Jim Scroggins told me that this year has been an adventure. His Hornets are the only 4th seed still alive, and he says that's a testament to his kids. There's no superstars. They're not big. They're not even supposed to be here. Yet week in and week out, they find a way to win. One newspaper reporter even wrote that Cook High School's like a bad cold you can't get rid of. Now, Lovett is very similar to Cook. They don't have any superstars, but they have tremendous speed. Offensively, they're very diversified and like to do trick plays, and defensively, they swarm the ball. And Jim, Coach Scroggins told me playing Lovett's going to be a lot like playing ourselves, only they beat Thomasville, and we did not.
And welcome back to the Georgia Dome as we get set to kick it off between the Lovett Lions and the Cook Hornets. And Mark, you and I were talking just briefly as we get ready to kick this off. These teams had a little extra time to get ready before kickoff.
Very unusual, because usually in the Georgia Dome, you're forced by the previous action. We'll pick up on that at this kickoff.
And here's the kickoff. And this one's going to go back deep in the end zone, so that'll be a touchback. And Cook will start 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line as we are underway from the Georgia Dome. There you see some of the Hornet players on the sidelines. And the offense taking the field under quarterback T.J. Payne. There you see him leading his team to the huddle. There's Trenton Payne. There's his numbers on the year. Senior quarterback. And right off the start, we've got a whistle, and now they say, let's resume play. Let's get the thing underway under the big top. Man in motion, handoff straight up the gut. Great defense by Lovett. The ball carrier was Shannon Brown, number 13. Offensively, there's Cook, the way they line up. Griffin, Robinson, Castleberry, Kendrick, and Greason up front. The backs are Williams and Harris. Fullback is Brown. Williams is a wide receiver, and Stevens is the tight end. 2nd and 7 for Cook at the 23. And the handoff goes to number 3, Jonato Harris. And Harris is stopped after maybe a yard pickup. Good defense by Lovett off the top, and there's their defense. Hennigan, Sebastian, and Stokes up front. Linebackers are Wilson, Topping, Coolidge, Braxton, and Whitlock is your middle linebacker. Back deep, it's Hicks, Gandy, and Bino for Lovett. 3rd and 7. Payne nowhere to go, and down goes Payne. Big sack by number 73, Jameel Stokes.
Stokes brought the pressure from his outside defensive end position for Lovett, forcing Cook into an early punt position. Ground level, Payne looking downfield, really didn't take a lot of time to see traffic downfield before Stokes came in and made the sack.
Back to punt is number 33, Josh Miles. Here's his punt. A good kick. This one's going to cross midfield. And this one's going to be down at the 45-yard line of Lovett, and that's where the Lions will start 1st and 10. Good defense off the top there, Mark.
Outstanding defense against the run especially. We talked about the warm-up time. Usually teams have about 20 minutes to warm up. Because the previous game was played under a running clock, they were able to get into their normal routines and had about 40 minutes to prepare. So the whole idea of a quick start is thrown out the window for this game.
Lions quarterback Jonathan Karkup. There you see his numbers on the year. Only 5 interceptions, 12 touchdowns. Great year for Jonathan. Now he's calling an audible on the line. Trips to the right, 1 receiver to the left on 1st and 10 from the 45. Quick snap, throw right side. That's Andre Hicks, number 1. Andre gets into Cook territory and is down at about the 42-yard line. Stopped by number 13, Shannon Brown.
Karkoff, off a simple 2-step drop, turns and fires a perfect dart to the slot receiver, who picks up a quick 1st down for Lovett.
So it's 1st and 10 for Lovett at the 42-yard line. As you see, Hicks on the run. Now the handoff goes to Hicks, and he's inside the 40-yard line to the 39. They're going to be calling Andre's number a lot on offense. Here's the offensive line, the way they line up. Donahue, Wilson, Carey, Stokes, and Rue. Then it's the running backs of Stockton and Hicks. Anderson's a fullback, Williams the wide receiver, and Steele, a big target, is the tight end. 2nd and 7. In trouble, and pass incomplete, intended for Andre Hicks. Pressure was put on Jonathan Karkup. Here's the Cook defense and how they line up. The front 4 is Sims, Bennett, Arnold, and Shaw. Your linebackers are Tippins, Brown, and Miles. And back deep, it's Henley, Johnson, Williams, and Tippins, the free safety.
The Cook defense is not very big, but they like to rely on their quickness and speed.
3rd and 7 as Karkup is in the shotgun. And the handoff to Hicks, and Hicks got some room past the 30 down to about the 27-yard line. Andre Hicks stopped by number 7, Kenny Tippins of Cook.
Andre Hicks was actually peeking inside the tackles on that last run. Saw nothing inside, used great vision to break the run outside. You can see a little stutter step outside to pick up the first down.
Nice shots from down low from our GPB crew. And a great run by Andre Hicks as he comes right into your living room. Clock runs, coming up on 9 minutes to go, first quarter. Good shot, Andre Hicks in the backfield. Nice shot of Karkuff. Tippins, your big guy on defense. Fake handoff to Hicks. Screen pass right side. Play action to Rico Braxton, and Braxton is shoved out of bounds at about the 20-yard line.
Cook showing a lot of variety on his defensive alignments. On the previous play, they only had 3 down linemen. On this play, only 5, and they brought pressure with Desmond Pickett, putting pressure on the quarterback for Lovett.
Listen to the sound here, guys. Listen to this. Wow, you think some hitting going on there, Mark?
Ground level popping.
All right, meantime, handoff, and it's Hicks again. Hicks gets inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. So Lovett's on the move in the early going. After a great defensive stop, Cook went 3 and out.
Both teams in the feeling out process. You can see Lovett trying different strategy in his offensive alignment, and Cook trying to counter with showing a lot of different looks on defense.
Ball's marked at the 19-yard line.
Now with only 3 down linemen.
Karkuff in the shotgun. 2 receivers wide left, 1 wide right. On 3rd and 2, and now we get a whistle.
Karkuff was looking to the sideline trying to change the play. Saw something in the Cook defense that he thought he could take advantage of, as they had incredibly wide splits up front. The Cook defensive front, their splits were probably 4 yards each.
Jonathan has 12.
We have a dead ball, delay a game on the offense, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
Saying Jonathan Karkuff has 12 touchdown passes on the year, so Jonathan could definitely throw the football as well.
And what you want to find for Karkuff, he's only 5'10". You want to find the passing lane so those wide splits may work to his advantage.
So they drop it back 5 yards to the 24-yard line. Karkuff still in the shotgun. 2 receivers wide left, 1 to the right. Looks left side, has a man wide open. Drew Stockton, touchdown, Lovett.
Karkuff took a 3-step drop and found Stockton running the skinny post right to the middle of the field. Perfect pass, in stride, touchdown, Lovett.
Jack Hall is on to attempt the extra point for Lovett. And the kick is good, and Lovett takes the early 7-0 lead at the 7:58 mark of the first quarter, Mark.
We tried to warn the audience, if you like offense, we have your football game. Lovett scoring early in the first quarter.
Great drive, headed up by Jonathan Karkuff, and this awesome pass on the little slant and touchdown for Drew Stockton. There you see it again.
Excellent job of carrying out the ball fake as well. Left the ball in the belly of the running back just a hair extra before his wide receiver broke free and scored the touchdown.
And it always feels good. You can see Karkuff, I mean, he's showing that gesture. Yeah, we got it. I mean, it's always important to get that first score on the board, especially here at the Dome.
You get those jitters out of your system, you go on offense, and you're really playing in unfamiliar surroundings, so Karkuff's got to be feeling very good about himself in the first quarter.
All right, Jack Hall will kick it off for Lovett. There you see the Lions fans. Back deep to receive is Michael Henley, number 2, and number 4, Ryan Johnson. Here's your kickoff. It's going to be Henley in the end zone, and I think he's going to say, we're going to take this one to the 20.
We talked about the mirror images of these two teams, Jim. TJ Payne, the quarterback for Cook, also goes at 5'11", about 160. He's had a decent passing ratio this season. 46 completions out of 96 attempts.
Payne's a senior, 5'10", 170. There you see some of the Hornet coaches on the sidelines, including head coach Jim Scroggins. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Handoff, Shannon Brown, number 13, stopped cold as the Lion defense is playing rough in the early going. Rico Braxton with the stop.
In contrast with the Cook defensive alignment, Lovett ganged everyone inside the box. They had 5 players at the line of scrimmage and really pulled their linebackers within 2 yards of the line, really geared to stop the run.
The Lions defense, by the way, 4 players are headed to Division I teams next year. So they got a great defense. We'll talk more about that as the game goes on. 2nd and 9 for Cook. Handoff right side. That's Thad Williams. And Thad maybe picks up a couple. Stopped by number 30, Rico Braxton.
If you want to watch a player on defense for Lovett, take a look at number 45, Adam Whitlock, from time to time. He was working on that previous play against Jake Robinson, wearing number 65 for Cook. Did an excellent job of finding his way down the line of scrimmage, see number 45 to the left of your screen, pick his way down the line, and get in on the tackle.
There's you see your stats on Whitlock for the season, 3rd and 6. And here's the handoff. It's Jonathan Harris. Turns the corner, and Harris is up to about the 40-yard line. That'll be a first down for Cook. Finally brought down by Sean Bino, number 6. And number 14, Campbell Wilson.
Now, the funny thing about Jonathan Harris, he's listed on the stat sheet as a running back and defensive lineman. Well, that's not defensive lineman speed that he's showing as he gets the ball and hits the corner.
Great run. And that sets up the first down for Cook. Jonathan Harris, there you see his season's numbers. Had a couple of touchdowns on the year, did the senior. Handoff again, and it's Harris again. And Harris gets to about the 43-yard line.
Harris made an excellent decision on that last run. Clay Coolidge for Lovett had an excellent angle from his linebacker position, but Harris took the ball inside the tackle and picked up a nice gain.
Picked up on 4 on the play. They mark it at the 44. Be a second, we'll call it 2nd and 7. Just under 6 minutes to go here from the Georgia Dome. Jim Ginocchio, Mark Lassiter, Lisa Weiss down on the field, bringing you this AA football semifinal from downtown Atlanta. And we have another whistle.
There are 3 linebackers for Lovett that are very active, Jim. Nick Stonecipher, he wears number 50. Unusually tall for a linebacker. He's about 6'4". Whitlock we've talked about, and Clay Coolidge wears number 24.
A dead ball, false start on the offense. It could be 2nd down.
There are your referees and your umpire. Referee is Butch King, umpire Alan Deese, your linesman Benny Crawford, line judge, back judge, and field judge. We appreciate their job on this day. Thad Williams with the carry. As time continues to run here in the first quarter.
Talk about the personality of a running back. Thad Williams may not be a large back, but that time got his pad square and really hit the line of scrimmage quite hard, trying to find something inside the tackles. A lot of running backs are tempted to try to hit the sidelines. Williams that time said, I'm going to try it the tough way.
3rd and 10 at the 41-yard line. Payne rolls right, looks for a receiver, doesn't have one, keeps it, crosses midfield, stopped at midfield. Is Payne by number 24, Clay Coolidge, and number 45, Adam Whitlock.
Credit the block downfield by number 13, Shannon Brown, the wide receiver for Cook, who got a block in. They're going to mark this. It looks about a yard shy of the first down off that last run.
They mark it on the Cook side of the 50-yard line. They've got to get just on the other side, on the Lovett side of the 50 for a first down.
First decision for Cook, and it looks, by the look of this huddle, as they're going to go for it on 4th and 1 right from midfield.
So a big play here as the Hornets look to keep that offense on the field. Might try to draw them off sides. Could possibly be is Payne. And we have a whistle.
Timeout,
looks
Cook
like-
County, first timeout.
So a timeout for Cook. Welcome back to the Georgia Dome for the AA football semifinal. Lovett and Cook. Lions, of course, on the board first at 7-0. And Mark, a great football game. I mean, you said it. It's going to be an offensive war, basically, on this field.
And for Cook, their offense is predicated by their running game. They came into this game 3,323 yards on the ground.
A lot of yardage. Okay, big 4th and 1. Payne, handoff straight up the middle. That's Shannon Brown. First down, Cook. Big first down, a big 4th down run by Brown.
Shannon Brown did the intelligent thing on the last handoff, covering up with both hands, making sure he had the ball secured. Picked up the first down by about 3. Simply going right over the middle of the Lovett defense. Once again, Clay Coolidge, number 24 for Lovett, in on the tackle.
There's Shannon Brown's numbers on the year. Average per carry, 7.7 yards. Boy, you can count on Shannon Brown, that's for sure. 1st and 10 at the 47, up the middle, it's Brown again. He gets inside the 45 to about the 43. Braxton on the tackle, as well as a couple other guys for Lovett.
There's nothing fancy about Shannon Brown. He says, I'm just going to take the ball and go straight ahead with it. There's no shake, there's no bake. Just get in between the tackles and go straight ahead.
No running east-west, it's all north-south, that's it. Brings up a 2nd and 7. There you see T.J. Payne, senior quarterback for the Cook Hornets. Man in motion and off the option. Payne's going to keep it, try to turn the corner, and he's brought down at the 40-yard line, stopped by number 14, Campbell Wilson.
Outstanding pursuit by Lovett's Johnny Topping, wearing number 34. Really didn't allow T.J. Payne any space as he's trying to work down the line of scrimmage. He didn't get in on the tackle, but his pursuit forced him to the sideline. The linebackers for Lovett are definitely a strength of this defense. It seems like they use their front 4 to neutralize the other wall and then allow their linebackers to clean up.
3rd down and 3 for the Hornets. One wide out, one man in motion, and the inside handoff is Thad Williams. Williams gets inside the 40. He had to pick up 3. I think he got 2. The stop by number 6, Sean Bino. And I think it's going to leave another big decision for the Cook Hornets and Jim Scroggins.
And a decision for Elliot Hennigan of Lovett, who was the first player in the backfield, had penetration, and Williams seemed to step on his arm. He's taking a knee at the line of scrimmage, looking at the sideline. He's definitely injured after contact, feeling contact from Williams.
Another big 4th and 1. For the Cook Hornets. Payne straight up the middle, Brown, and it looks like Brown picks up the first down. Shannon Brown gets the call, and straight up the gut he goes.
And once again, they ran directly at Elliot Hennigan, feeling they had a spot that they could pick up the first down. Cook, that is. Once again, nothing fancy. And Cook's very deliberate offense steadily picking up first downs.
There you see Shannon Brown, 6'2", 200 pounds, and amazingly, he's only a freshman. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Williams in motion, rolls left, does Payne, fires left side, has a man in and out of the hands of number 13, Shannon Brown. As you can see him right there.
Brown working against linebacker Johnny Topping once again for Lovett. Topping is only 5'10", 176, but he used the speed to drop into coverage and make a play on the last pass.
Good try by Brown. Sets up a 2nd down at the 36-yard line for the Hornets. One wide receiver to the right. Williams in motion. Williams gets the flip and is brought down in the backfield. Good defensive play by number 1, Andre Hicks.
Also give a star on the helmet to Campbell Wilson, number 14 for Lovett. Had penetration in the backfield. Didn't make the tackle, but his penetration slowed that play up.
Andre Hicks will be calling his number a lot today. Plays on both sides of the ball, Mark.
Lovett is doing an excellent job, Jim, of getting players into the backfield of Cook and really forcing these plays out of sync and out of rhythm.
With the loss on that play, it's a 3rd and 11 for Cook. Great shot of T.J. Payne. Almost loses the snap, looks left, in trouble, and down goes Payne. Number 73, Jameel Stokes, comes up with the big save, with the big tackle on the quarterback.
I think Campbell Wilson likes to hear his name called. Once again, he's in the backfield wearing number 14 in white for Lovett. Gets in on the pressure for Payne, and Payne doesn't have anyone open downfield to make the delivery.
For Stokes, that's his 2nd sack in the game. Josh Miles back to punt for Cook. And back deep is Andre Hicks. He's going to let this one hit. And it's going to roll and stop dead at the 10-yard line. And that's where Lovett will take over 1st and 10. Mark, so far, first quarter, I mean, this is it. Back here at the Georgia Dome, Lovett leads it after 1 quarter, 7-0 over Cook. And the Lions on offense as they begin 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line. Karkov in misdirection play to Bo Anderson. Gets the handoff up the middle. Number 44 maybe picks up a yard or 2 on the play.
2 players to keep an eye on for Lovett, Jim. Wide receivers Winston Gandy and the other wide receiver David Van Horn. They wear number 7 and 13 respectively. Had those players split out very wide to the left and right on the previous play.
So it brings up a 2nd and 9. Karkov, the quarterback. 2 wideouts, each split to each side. The pitch to Andre Hicks, and Hicks tries to turn the corner and can't get anywhere. Stopped by number 4, Ryan Johnson. Good defensive play by Johnson.
Lovett was trying to get some blocks thrown downfield by its receivers. Malachi Garcia, wide receiver, was trying to get a block against the Cook defender. They weren't able to clear out. You can see number 23, Max Williams, also working downfield. Excellent job of pursuit by this quick Cook defense.
Brings up a 3rd and 6 at the 14-yard line. Big play here for the Lions. 2 wideouts to the left. Handoff goes to Hicks, and Hicks across the 15 to about the 17-yard line. He's going to be short of a 1st down. Number 7, Kenny Tippins, makes the big defensive play for Cook.
Tippins, one of those players we talked about in the top of the game. Really need his effort on every play for Cook to be effective on defense.
Another good defensive stop by Cook. Back to punt for Lovett is number 82, Michael Steele. There's Steele's numbers for punting this year. Longest is a 52-yarder by the junior. Back deep is Michael Henley and Ryan Johnson for Cook. A fake, and the snap goes to the up man, number 45, Adam Whitlock, and Whitlock has a 1st down for the Lions. Good play call by Muschamp.
A surprise of a play call, an excellent job by the punter, Steele, of carrying through the ball fake. You can see him make that fake as if the ball was snapped over his head just for a second, causing that defense to freeze, and Lovett, with a surprising play call deep in its own territory, picks up a 1st down.
Head coach Mike Muschamp goes into the bag of tricks early, looking to even this thing up. So it's a 1st and 10 at the, we'll call it the 29-yard line for the Lions. 2 wideouts to the left side. Jonathan Karkov, your quarterback. Handoff up the middle. That's Hicks. Hicks crosses over the 30 to about the 31-yard line.
Back
Cook defense is looking tough there, Mark.
to the mirror image theme. Cook had unusually wide splits in the middle of the field, and Lovett saw space, but the linebackers are quick. But Cook did an excellent job of filling that hole.
Lions go without a huddle, and they go up the middle to number 1, Andre Hicks again. He picks up a couple of more, setting up a 3rd and about 7. 9 minutes to go till halftime. This one's moving quickly. We call it 3rd and 6 on this play.
Karkoff takes his plays directly from the sideline. You can see him looking to his coaches. They call the huddle about 5 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Offensive coach is David Bolin. You saw him on the sidelines, and now they take a timeout. Does Lovett to talk about this?
First timeout.
As the teams take a timeout on the field, there you see Lovett.
It's a football festival, Jim, that really unifies the entire state of Georgia because people get a chance to travel to Atlanta also, but watch the games at home no matter where they are.
And of course, you know, with the technology that you have today, you know, you can tape it with TiVo. I mean, so the days are gone of just taping on VHS at home now, you know. All right, here we go. 3rd and 6. Enough with the technology lessons, right? 3rd and 6 for the Lovett Lions at the 33-yard line. Hand off to Hicks, and Hicks has got a good run, gets it out to about the 40-yard line. Stopped by number 13, Shannon Brown. Shannon's everywhere on offense, on defense, Mark.
Give credit to Trey Wilson, the offensive lineman for Lovett. Got an excellent block in on Tevin Sims, who was actually in the backfield for Cook, but the block by Wilson allowed the runner to pick up the first down.
And so a 1st and 10 now at the 40-yard line for the Lions. 2 wideouts to the left, 2 backs in the backfield with Karkoff at shotgun. Karkoff hit from behind. What a hit by number 23, Tevin Sims.
An excellent job of disguising the blitz as Sims lined up at right defensive end. There was no one home for Lovett to pick him up, and Sims did an excellent job of closing in on Karkoff and making the sack.
Look at that, just a clear shot, bang. Karkoff had no chance. 2nd and 19 at the 31, and we have a whistle stopping play. We got a flag, and
the other advantage for Cook, they brought Sims from the blind side, so Karkoff, with his back turned to Sims, really didn't have a chance to pick him up on the blitz. And Cook, with a little bit of a gamble on defense, picks up the sack.
There's the offsides on Cook.
We have dead ball, encroachment on the defense, 5 yards.
Mike Muschamp, head coach of the Lovett Lions for his 3rd year. 2nd and 14 at the 36-yard line. Karkoff off the play action. Now the screen pass to Andre Hicks, and Hicks is brought out of bounds about the 41-yard line by guess who? Number 13, Shannon Brown.
Same pressure once again as Cook brought a player from the left side this time. It was number 32, Ciron Arnold, that had pressure, but fortunately for Karkoff, he had enough space to deliver the pass to Hicks, who picks up about 5 yards.
So now it's 3rd and 9 for Lovett. 2 wideouts, 3 wideouts, 2 to the left. Good shot at Karkoff, looking to the sidelines, now calls an audible. Remains in the shotgun, 3rd and 9. Looks left side, has a man. That is Drew Stockton, and Stockton gets inside the 45 of Cook, and that's enough for a first down.
Another blitz by Cook. Unfortunate, though, Shannon Brown, the running back, was lined up. He's wearing number 13, tries to get there, but too late before Karkoff delivers another strike to the middle of the field.
Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's about the same play they scored on earlier.
They love that post pattern to the middle of the field. Nothing fancy, allowing their receivers to clear right into that space vacated by the linebackers.
1st and 10 at the 45, 2 wideouts to the left, 2 wideouts to the right. Karkoff in the shotgun. Handoff, number 44, it's Bo Anderson, and Anderson pulls his way inside the 40-yard line.
Stephen Bennett for Cook actually had a hand on Bennett, but just wasn't able to wrap up. He had him at about the 50-yard line, but the running back for Lovett did an excellent job of evading the tackle and picking up a good run on that first down play.
There you see Anderson's numbers on the year, 1 touchdown, 2nd and 4 inside the 40. We'll mark it at the 39-yard line for the Lions. Again, 2 wideouts, 1 split out each side. Inside handoff, no fake. And Karkoff goes down for the 4th time in the game. Number 23, Tevin Sims, takes him down in the backfield.
There's that man again. You have to keep an eye on Tevin Sims because he lines up anywhere he wants. Number 23 just comes in like a blur from the left side of your screen and picks up the sack.
That's Sims' 2nd sack of the game. Last time he came in from the right, this time from the left.
Sims playing in a monster type of role. A lot of times coaches will have a talented player they allow to freelance, and Sims is that player for Cook.
So a 1st down at the 48-yard line for Lovett. Inside Cook territory, 3rd and 12 at the 48. 3 trips to the right. He looks right. Got a man. That's Max Williams. Max crossing field at the 30, at the 20. Max could go the distance. 1 man to beat. Is he in? No, he's at the 1-foot line. Max Williams stopped finally by number 4, Ryan Johnson.
Number 13, Shannon Brown for Cook. Had pressure, got there a hair late. Another completion on the crossing pattern for Lovett all the way down to the 1-yard line.
47 yards on the play as Williams takes it inside the 1.
Quite an acrobatic move by Williams at the end of that play to see if he could get the ball over the pylon at the last possible moment.
That sets up a 1st and goal for the Lions, and Karkoff on the quarterback sneak. Touchdown, Lovett.
Credit the play calling of Lovett. That big 3rd down call, picking up the 2nd score of the afternoon. We're inside of 6 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. Lovett feeling very good about themselves, up 13-0.
I like that little wink that Mike Muschamp just gave one of his ball players. He's feeling good about this. Hey, Jack Hall in the game now to attempt the extra point. And the kick by Hall is good. And so Lovett leads now 14-0 over Cook with 5:24 left to play. Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. 2nd quarter action. Lovett and Cook. Lions just got on the board again. Mark Lassiter, they're looking good on offense.
Lovett using their offensive diversity, I should say. They have 5 receivers that enter this ball game with double figures in receptions.
Kicking it off for the Lions is number 33, Jack Hall, back deep to receive. Number 2, Michael Henley, and number 4, Ryan Johnson for Cook. He gets his leg into this one, and this one's going out of the back of the end zone. Ryan Johnson touched it, and Cook will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Thoughts so far, Mark?
Cook's defense done a decent job, except for defending some of the big plays on passing downs for Lovett. Their challenge with 5:24 remaining in this 2nd quarter, see if they can mount a drive before the halftime.
So head coach Jim Scroggins on the sidelines, 1st-year head coach here at Cook and here in the state of Georgia, but did a lot of coaching in Florida. Lisa Weiss will talk about that later in the broadcast. Here's a 1st and 10 for Cook at the 20. Handoff straight up the gut. That's Shannon Brown again, number 13. Good old Shannon. You can rely on Shannon both offensively and defensively. There was a flag on the play, but they picked that one up. Brown picks up 6. It'll be a 2nd and 4 for the Hornets.
And Jim Cook is a run-heavy team. They have 5 times as many yards on the ground as they do have passing. This team had 3,323 yards on the ground, only 749 passing.
1 wide out to the right, handoff Thad Williams. Williams crosses the 25, gets to about the 27-yard line. Thad Williams has had a great postseason for Cook. Stopped by Johnny Topping and Jameel Stokes, number 73, for the Lovett Lions.
TJ Payne looking to the sideline for the play call with the clock running.
So it sets up a 3rd and 3 for Cook. There you see T.J. Payne, 5 foot 10 inches, 170-pound senior. Straight up the gut, Randy Merritt gets the call, number 24.
From this angle, looks like he has enough for the first down, which will stop the clock while they reset the chains on the far sideline. Under 4 minutes. Cook sticking with his running game.
There's your total yards, and look at this. Lovett, 145 total yards on offense. Cook with 49, and that pretty much tells the story, Mark Lassiter.
Excellent.
1st and 10 at the 31. Double reverse, Jonathan Harris, and now he throws it back out to T.J. Payne. Payne coming down the sidelines. And finally brought down in Lovett territory at the 40 by number 30, Rico Braxton. And number 45, Adam Whitlock.
That was a pitch that looked more like a jump shot. You'll see the reverse, inside handoff, and then right before contact, the ball comes flying out of the middle, and Payne, the quarterback, takes it to the sideline. That was the pitch at the last possible moment.
Wow, it sure was. What a play. It covers 29 yards and a first down for Cook at the Lions' 40-yard line. And another whistle as we have a flag.
Movement up front for Cook looked like number 59, Chris Castleberry, from his right tight end position.
Castleberry, 6'1", 250, the senior, going to be playing Division I football next year.
A lot of players sprinkled throughout both rosters that will be participating at the next level.
False start on the offense, still first down.
So it backs it up 5 yards to the 45. It would be a 1st and 15 for Cook. Penalties on the day. Lovett only has 1 for 5. Cook has 3. 1st and 15. The handoff goes to Randy Merritt, and Merritt picks up a couple on the play.
Cook with that rock'em sock'em formation. Only 1 wide receiver. Everyone packed in tight, close splits on the last play. Nothing fancy. 3-yard pickup.
Clock continues to run now, 3 minutes and counting till halftime. T.J. Payne and the Hornets looking to get on the board. 2nd and 12 from the 42. Payne rolls right, in trouble, has a man, complete to number 3, Jonathan Harris. But I don't think they picked up much of anything on that play, Mark.
Rico Braxton for Lovett, one of the players we talked about in the open, cheated up to the line of scrimmage right before the snap count, got in the way of that play's developing. Also, we have a player down for Lovett, Andre Hicks, who
Officials timeout.
took a shot, looks like in his right leg on the last play.
Let's hope that Andre's doing okay. Both teams, I think they got rid of those butterflies in the early going, Mark. I mean, playing here at the Dome.
Well, they also had plenty of time to warm up, unlike the games that we see during this football festival where you have 10 minutes to get ready and then you kick it off. Because the previous game was over so quickly with the running clock, these teams had a chance to get into the normal routine, and I think it really benefited Lovett on that first offensive drive.
Yeah, it's really, it's been good. It's good to see Andre get up, too, as he starts his walk across the field to the bench. Lovett fans are dressed all in white today. Drove up to the Dome a little earlier today, and that's all you saw was white shirts, white pants, white ties, white hats.
Well, it's a beautiful event from the standpoint that you have, during the course of one day, 10 sets of fans in and out of the Georgia Dome.
You got this wave coming in from each school, and school buses trading spots out there.
Well, every 3 hours you have a shift change.
You see some of the Lovett faithful. 3rd and 12 from the 42. Net in motion is Thad Williams. He gets the pitch on the right side. Williams gets inside the 40 to about the 38. Stopped by number 34. I love saying this name, Johnny Topping.
Also, give credit to Campbell Wilson, number 14 for Lovett. Did an excellent job of getting into the backfield. Now, he didn't make the tackle, but he really did an excellent job of disrupting the play. Watch Campbell,
Listen
number
to this
14.
play. Listen to this play here. Ooh. What a hit.
Sights and sounds of the football game from ground level.
Don't we miss it, huh?
I don't miss those two-a-days, though.
Yeah, I know it. 4th and 8, and Cook's going for it at the 37-yard line. Man in motion. Fake. Payne looks left. Intercepted by number 14, Campbell Wilson. And Wilson could go the distance. Touchdown, Campbell Wilson, 67 yards.
Cook was trying to hit Randy Merritt on a slant route that got hijacked by the linebacker Campbell Wilson. Did an excellent job of picking up blockers downfield. You see number 30, Rico Braxton, turn, get a block in, all the way for the score for Lovett, the 3rd touchdown on the afternoon.
They were going. Cook was going for their 3rd straight 4th down and just happened to go the other way on him. So here it is, Jack Hall on to attempt the extra point. Hall splits the uprights, and Lovett jumps out to a 21-0 lead over Cook with just a minute 35 to go till halftime. And look at the guys congratulating number 14, Campbell Wilson, on the sidelines.
Now, Campbell Wilson is a linebacker, but check out the statistics. He's only 5'10", 160, but used excellent anticipation to jump the route, get in traffic, and head down the sidelines. Now, here's where that speed comes in handy. And being a little bit smaller, he turns into a running back and scores the touchdown.
And you know, when you see that sideline and nobody in between, that's a great thought.
It's an unusual combination to see a player listed as a wide receiver and a linebacker. Usually you see linebacker, tight end, linebacker, fullback, but rarely do you see linebacker, wide receiver.
That's right. And Campbell Wilson, only a sophomore, as you saw. So, I mean, he's going to be back for a few seasons. He's going to be heading up that defense in a big way. So Jack Hall will kick it off for the Lions. There you see head coach Mike Muschamp. Back deep to receive for Cook, number 2, Mike Henley, and number 4, Ryan Johnson. Another good boot. This one taken 2 yards back, and this is going to be a touchback as Ryan Johnson was thinking about running it out and said, I don't think so. So they'll take it 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line, Mark.
You ever notice there are some kickers that you can hear the thud all the way up here? Josh Miles on that last kickoff, it sound just reverberated through the dome on the last kick.
Yeah, you didn't need any microphones down there. I mean, that was all the way up here.
That was no artificial sound. That was all toe beating leather.
All right, so Cook back on offense. Last time they converted on 2 of 3 4th down plays to keep the drive alive. The 3rd time it was intercepted. Thus your score, 21-0 Lovett. 1st and 10 at the 20. And a keeper by Payne. And Payne maybe picks up a yard. That Lion defense is playing tough here in the first half, Mark.
The challenge for Cook is to not get frustrated. They've had a few drives stopped by this very active Lovett defense predicated by their linebackers. Cook has really had the challenge of maintaining their composure and patience within their running game.
Brings up a 2nd down and 8 for the Hornets at the 22-yard line. Payne rolls left, fires, has a man, incomplete, intended for number 7, Kenny Tippins.
A lot of times, Jim, what you can see just by the body language of players, you don't want to see players holding their heads down. You want to see them keeping their focus on what they have to do.
Yep. Mentioned Kenny Tippins. Kenny's brother Kyle plays free safety for the Hornets. And, of course, Kenny's dad, Kenny Tippins Sr., used to play for the Atlanta Falcons. 3rd down conversions on the day. Lovett 5 of 6. Cook 2 of 6. Big 3rd and 8. They try to keep this thing alive. Payne in the shotgun. Fake handoff to Williams, and now Payne is in trouble, and down goes Payne. Good defensive play by number 45, Adam Whitlock. Also on the play, number 72, Ross Pope.
And Lovett is in the position now. They're thinking of getting the ball back before the half is over. Payne feeling pressure from the outside. Once again, you see number 45 for Lovett. And on the stop, Adam Whitlock.
And Lovett's calling timeout, and they're thinking field position and maybe getting the ball back one more time before the half's over.
You're in a spot where you can do a lot of things as you get a look at the hairstyle
of Adam Whitlock.
Adam Whitlock on the sideline, going with the mohawk, the Mr. T look.
There you go. Can't say I did that when I was playing, that's for sure. Did you try that?
It's a different day, Jim.
All right, Lovett comes back onto the field, knowing they're going to get this football back at least one more time. Coming up, the GHSA semifinals, AAA, Cairo taking on North Hall at 3 o'clock. Then tonight at 6 o'clock, the 5A semifinal, Walton takes on North Gwinnett. And the 9 o'clock game, Lowndes and Camden County. Josh Miles punt, hits at the 41 and rolls out of bounds at the 42-yard line of Cook. And that's where Lovett will take over 1st and 10. Head coach Mike Muschamp likes the position there, and they're going to work this clock in a good way, Mark.
And Muschamp has the weapons because he has the wide receiver alignment that can work downfield. So he's looking at his playbook now to see how he can best employ 42 seconds.
From the 42-yard line. Mike's got a couple of plays up his sleeve for this one. Quarterback Jonathan Karkuff. There you see his day. 6 of 7, 110 yards and 1 touchdown. Not a bad day for the sophomore.
6 of 7. Coaches will take every day of the week.
Two wide outs. Split. Karkuff will go out of the shotgun. Now he's calling an audible. And the referees are throwing a flag. Might be too much time for the Lions.
We have a dead ball delay on the offense.
Interesting thing about Lovett is that they make a lot of play calls based on what look Cook is giving them at the line of scrimmage. That time they had what they wanted, but once Karkuff came to the line of scrimmage, he tried to change the play, which caused the clock to run out.
So he backs it up 5 yards to the 47-yard line, brings up a 1st and 15 now with 42 seconds left till halftime. Karkuff in the shotgun again. Wide receivers are split. Karkuff again calls an audible. Here's a snap, looks left side, has a man, and overthrows number 23, Max Williams.
Don't bite on the ball fake, all right?
Got a flag down on the field.
There's a great dialogue taking place at the line of scrimmage as Karkuff has eye contact with his coach, Mike Muschamp, who will actually give him hand signals at the line of scrimmage. On the last play, he takes a shot from number 23, Tevin Sims, at the last moment. We'll slow down the flag.
On the defense, that's 1st down.
And because of that, they call it roughing the passer, and that big penalty mark moves the ball to the 32-yard line of Cook.
Tevin Sims has been aggressive all afternoon, just a little bit over-aggressive on that last hit up around the face mask of the quarterback.
So a big 15-yarder roughing the quarterback, and Karkuff getting the information from head coach Mike Muschamp. As the Lions look to score one more time before halftime. One wide out to the left, 2 backs to the backfield, handoff, no, fake handoff as Karkuff rolls right, looks downfield, has a man. He's got Williams, Max Williams with the catch, number 23, and he's knocked out at the 22-yard line. That's a pickup of 10 and a 1st down for the Lions as they go no huddle. 30 seconds to go. The clock will start as soon as the referee puts the ball down on the field.
Karkuff and Muschamp once again communicating via hand signals.
There's a good shot at Karkuff. Kind of looks like Peyton Manning out there with all these audibles. Handoff goes up the middle. That's Taylor Mack. Mack gets to about the 17, but the important thing is the clock's running, and now a timeout is called by Lovett with 14 seconds to go.
Now here's what's interesting, Jim, as Lovett goes down to the
Timeout, Lovett.
red zone of Cook, Muschamp, and Karkoff. Karkoff now has to turn back to maintain eye contact with his head coach because the coach cannot leave the coaching box. So during the middle of the field, they can make eye contact by just turning to the sideline. Now he has to look back, and that may be causing sometimes the extra play time to be expired.
And more importantly here, too, is that was Lovett's last time out of the half, so they're going to have to play this one pretty smart. It's going to have to go either out of bounds or in the end zone.
Got time enough with 14 seconds remaining for about 2 plays, max 3.
Well, Karkoff has been sharp on the day. The sophomore quarterback has been on target with all of his receivers.
And he's really done an excellent job, Jim, of just playing within his skill set. Nothing fancy downfield. They've been favoring the post pattern from the 20-yard line going in. He's going to use his multiple weapons. He has 4 wide receivers that I like to use. That's Lovett.
So it brings up a 2nd and 6 at the 17. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. He looks downfield, has a man, but thrown over the head of number 9, Drew Stockton, as Stockton was looking to reel in his 2nd TD of the day.
Stockton working against Sean Bino, I should say. Let me change that. That was Kenny Tippins in coverage.
So 10 seconds to go on a 3rd and 6. So at least 2 more plays, I would say, before this one's in the books.
Short drop, ball fake, trying to find the receiver on a fade route.
And it looks like the Lions are going to kick it, so it's Jack Hall going to attempt a 35-yard field goal. There you see his numbers on the year. Here's the kick by Hall, and it is good. So Hall connects from 35 yards, and Lovett takes a 24-point lead with 5 seconds to go. Good play call, Mark.
Hall made the field goal with about 10 yards to spare. A very strong leg for the high school level. Excellent elevation right down the middle.
He could have gone about 45, 50 yards easily there. There you see Jack Hall on the sidelines as he gets ready to kick it off one last time till halftime. So far under Jonathan Karkoff and the play calling of head coach Mike Muschamp, Lions are looking good, Mark.
Give credit to the Lovett defense, playing tough on the previous drive by Cook and allowing their offense to take the field and pick up another score.
And it's really a balanced attack by Lovett, too, on offense. Running the ball, throwing the ball. Here you see Jack Hall getting ready to kick off. Back deep, it's Michael Henley and Ryan Johnson for Cook. This one is a short kick, goes to the 20. That is Apollo Harris, and Harris turns the corner at the 30 to the 35, and that is it. That marks the end of the first half here at the Georgia Dome. Lovett coming up big. The Lions scoring 4 times, 3 touchdowns, 1 field goal, and lead it 24-0 over the Cook Hornets. And now there's a flag on the play. Let's hear what's going on.
A block in the back on the return. That penalty has been declined. That'll be the half.
So that's it. Halftime from the Dome. As the first 24 minutes are in the books. Both teams will go talk it over in the locker room as we get ready for the halftime show under the big top here in downtown Atlanta. And let's go downstairs to Lisa Weeks. Lisa?
Coach Muschamp, you have a nice lead going to the half. What do you tell your kids to keep this momentum going?
Well, we just played 24 minutes of football. We got 24 more minutes left to go, so we want to make sure we stay focused and come out and play the kind of football that we played in the first half and that we played the last couple of weeks. If we do that, I feel pretty good.
How important was it for you to get that field goal on the board?
Huge, big time. They got a powerful offense, and that kid, you never know when he's going to break out of there, so we want to make sure we get as many points as we can.
All right, Coach, good luck at the second half. Thanks. Jim, back to you.
Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. It's half halftime. Levitt leading Cook 24-0. On the field right now for your halftime entertainment is the Cook High Marching Hornets. The band director is Matt Deal, drum major Michelle Oliver, 50 band members in all. They'll be performing the music from the Eagles. Songs include Take It Easy, Heartache, Tonight, and Desperado. It's the Cook High Marching Hornets under the big top here in Atlanta. The Marching Hornets. Let's go downstairs to Lisa Weiss. Lisa.
Joining me now is band director Matt Deal, and what an exciting performance here today by your band, the Cook Hornets.
Thank you very much. We're very excited to be here. We got up early this morning and drove up on buses, and I think the kids have really enjoyed the trip so far.
Now, I know you did a thing to the Eagles. What made you decide to do your tribute to the Eagles?
Well, we like to do our shows. We like to center our shows around what we think the crowd would enjoy, and I know this crowd really enjoys the Eagles, and of course right now the Eagles have just come out with a new album, so we kind of got the old and the new really, and so the kids were excited about it, and that's what we chose the Eagles for.
So had any of the kids heard Eagles music before this?
Well, they hadn't heard of the Eagles, but as we played the songs, I think they realized that they had actually heard the music before, so it turned out pretty good.
So how much preparation goes into performing to play at the halftime at the Georgia Dome?
Well, I tell you, we've been in practice mode since August, so actually the end of July, and you practice and you get into a routine and you just kind of keep doing the same thing, and as you come into the dome, you want to polish out the little kinks and everything, but they were excited, so we had a little extra motivation this week to get it cleaned up.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and let's head it back upstairs to Jim.
And welcome back to the Georgia Dome as our halftime festivities continue under the big top. Lovett leads it 24-0 over Cook. We go back downstairs to Lisa Weiss. Lisa.
Thanks, Jim. Just like today, over the past 11 years, there have been great memories, great coaches, and great players who have walked the fields at the Georgia Dome during the semifinals. We've had 11 years of coverage, over 100 games, and a lot more memories to boot. And when we're going to take a look back with the GPB flashback is Jackie Green, the former coach of Mount Zion.
You know, it's great to see the community behind us, and as well as the Clayton News Daily newspapers carried a big article on the game. And, you know, it's a big deal, not only in our community, but Clayton County as well. So we had a lot of support from all the schools, you know, just to represent Clayton County as a whole was just a great thing for Mount Zion High School. Well, just to set it up, the play before was perhaps, you know, the scene that you see in the movies and on TV, you know. We had some 20-something seconds left after the play that we tried to set up in the middle of the field. And the clock's running down. And I can hear people screaming, "Time out, time out." So the clock runs down 3 seconds. We call time, run them out on the field, and you know, this is a 44-yard field goal, and I've seen Phil kick those easy in practice, so I knew he had the leg. And sure enough, everybody held hands, and you know, we were all sitting there, and of course, there's the snap, and you couldn't have drawn it up any better. And just a great memory. And from there, you know, everything went blank. I just remember attacking Phil, and next thing I knew, I was on the Georgia Dome floor with 40 football players on top of me. Had it not been for Georgia Public Television, with the announcers, you had the crew, you had instant replay. Had it been just the film at home that we have every game, it wouldn't have been the same. But Georgia Public Broadcast brought that to me with an opportunity. I can watch it tomorrow. I can watch it this afternoon. And a lot of our kids had it taped. And that's a memory that, you know, they can sit down in 10 years from now or 20 or 30 years from now and show their grandkids that you know, this is what we did and we wasn't supposed to. We beat Marist in the Georgia Dome on our first attempt ever, and you know, just a great memory. And I really thank Georgia Public Broadcast for that, and you know, just wonderful. And I just hope people continue to support Georgia Public Broadcast.
That was a very memorable moment, and there's somebody joining me now who remembers that exact game. Steve Franks, the Director of Athletics at the Lovett School. Now, Steve, I know you guys were here last year and you're back again. How exciting is this for your school and the community to be here at the Georgia Dome?
Oh, I don't know if I have the words for that. It's, I think being here this time of year is the goal of every football team and around the state, and for us to be here 2 years in a row, I think says a lot about where our program is and where we want to keep it. And I can't tell you how proud I am of Mike Muschamp, his staff, all our fans. We brought a large number here today to support our team. Kids have just put in a great effort all year long and overcome some adversity along the way, and just really proud to be here and represent Lovett in a positive way.
Now, there's another student who roams the sidelines of the Lovett Field. He doesn't put up big points in the in the games, but he puts up big points in the classroom, and that is your manager, Patrick Fitzmaurice. And I know he was honored with the Whitey Zimmerman Award that is awarded to the best manager. And talk a little bit about Patrick and what that meant to the school and for him.
Outstanding student. probably would think he's in the top 5 to be valedictorian at Lovett, and I know big things in the future for him.
I understand he also scored a 2,300 on the SATs out of 24, so that's not too shabby either.
No, and that's the rumor going around. That's unverified with me yet. He's not talking about it much, so he's humble about his academic progress, but he's an outstanding young man.
And he's also involved in the Habitat for Humanity for the chapter.
Yes, very active in Habitat Humanity, and I think a number of other service organizations that love it. And he's a very unique individual.
Unfortunately, he can't be down here during the game because he's upstairs doing the stats, but I'm sure he's enjoying it from that view as well.
I'm sure he'll be looking at the videotape somewhere tonight.
Now, I know you have great things coming for the Lovett School in the future. Talk a little bit about the development and where the school's headed and how excited you are about the new changes.
Well, really excited. We've just finished a campus-wide master plan, of which athletics was a vital part of that plan. And that ties in with the strategic plan that's been done by our Board of Trust. And we're looking forward to the development and construction of a new middle school on our campus, likely starting this summer. In addition to that, we'll break ground on a new baseball, softball complex, which is going to enable us to do some other things athletically with the installation of synthetic turf field, a multi-sport field that we'll use for soccer, lacrosse, sub-varsity football, and also be an inclement weather practice site for our football team. So we're excited about that and a number of other things related to construction projects.
And also, I understand making your stadium bigger, so for the chance that you might have a chance to, host a state championship game there one day.
Well, definitely. That's on our radar screen, and I can certainly understand why the GHSA has, minimum numbers for hosting an event of that magnitude, and we certainly want to get to a point where we can accommodate that. We've got a beautiful setting right on the banks of the Chattahoochee River, probably not like it anywhere else in the country, and we take a great pride in playing on the riverbank, and we want to get our stadium to a point where it's conducive to holding a state championship event in the near future.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here again, and good luck in the second half to keep the things going.
Good first half.
Jim, back to you.
All right, Lacey, having a good time down there. During the halftime festivities, we have the highlights for you of the first half, and it all began with Karkup and this great slant to Stanton.
Karkup off the ball fake, hit his favorite receiver, Stockton, for the first score for Lovett. Did an excellent job getting points on the board early.
Drew Stockton, and then the quarterback sneak by Karkup.
Karkup off the big play, nothing fancy. Their quick offensive line carved up space. They take a 14-0 lead.
And then Campbell Wilson celebrated Christmas early with the 67-yard touchdown interception.
Campbell Wilson, the 5'10", 160-pound linebacker. That's right, 160 pounds with the interception, doing an excellent job of reading the route and taking the ball back all the way downfield, down the sideline for the 7.
And that made it 21-0 Lovett. And then, of course, Jack Hall just before the end of the half, a 35-yard field goal. And that's where we stand right now. Lovett leading it over Cook 24-0 as we look at the first half numbers.
Incredible numbers. If you look immediately at the rushing yards, Cook really leading in that only category. Penalty yards just about even. Time of possession, Cook has them beat. But the passing yards, right at the top of your screen, that's where Lovett has the huge advantage, 136 to the Big Donut.
All right, we go back downstairs to Lisa Weiss. Lisa.
Joining me now is Cook High School's head coach, Jim Scroggins. And Coach Scroggins, I know you guys are down, but there's still a lot of game left.
There is. There's 24 minutes. And, those Lovett coach has done a great job. This coach here made a couple of poor decisions, probably put us in the situation we're in. But, and it looks a little bit impossible. But God gives us wonderful opportunities, brilliantly disguised as impossibilities. So we know that, and we're going to give it our best and hope we can make a game out of this thing.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. Jim, back to you.
All right, thank you, Lisa. And welcome back to the Georgia Dome for the AA football semifinal between the Lovett Lions and the Cook Hornets. There you see the score, 24-0. Mark Lassiter, Lisa Weiss down on the field. Mark, Cook having to kick off. I guess the main thing is they got to come up with a stop right away.
Very simple for Coach Jim Scroggins of Cook. He needs his defense to come up big out of the halftime break and see if they can get a stop on this first drive by Lovett.
To kick it off for Cook is number 43, Will Dobbins. Back deep to receive. for Lovett. There's a squib kick. And it's taken by number 3, Taylor Mack. Mack cutting across the right side, goes across the 45 and about the 47-yard line. Brought down by number 33, Josh Miles. Good return by Taylor.
There's also a flag thrown on the play. As you see, Josh Miles had excellent patience to stay with this play. He's wearing number 33 in dark for Cook. Make the tackle without over pursuing.
So it's a 1st and 10 for the Lions at their own 47-yard line. Already in the lead, 24-0. Karkuff up the middle. It's number 1, Andre Hicks. And Hicks is stopped by number 14, Kyle Tippins, the brother of Kenny Tippins.
And you can see Kenny Tippins right in the middle of your screen wearing number 7. He had the first shot, but an excellent block in the middle of the field. After that play, Kenny Tippins was on both knees, just slapped his hands, knowing he had a shot, but couldn't make the tackle.
Lions at the 45, 2nd and 2. It's Hicks. Breaking out to the left side. Hicks inside the 30, 25, and gets down to about the 15-yard line. Big first down run, finally stopped by number 2, Michael Henley.
Tevin Sims thought he had an ankle wearing number 23 in white, 23 in dark for Cook. But as he took the ball to the sideline, Hicks, that is, did an excellent job of just using his speed to pick up a huge gain.
A 30-yard pickup by Andre Hicks. He's having himself a big ball game on both sides of the ball. 1st and 10 Lions at the Cook 15-yard line. Karkuff in the shotgun. Karkuff keeps it himself, goes left side, breaks 1 tackle, and gets inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line, stopped by number 25, Waylon Chester.
Variation on a theme. That time, they made the ball fake to Hicks. Karkuff stood for about a 1 count, took it straight up the middle, picked up about 4 yards.
If you've just joined us, we just started the 3rd quarter of this 2A semifinal game here at the Georgia Dome. Lovett leading Cook 24-0. Jim Tanakio, Mark Lassiter, Lisa Weiss bringing it to you live on GPB. 2nd and 7. Karkuff under huddle. Hand off Hicks, breaks 1 tackle, but can't get past the second group of guys around the 11-yard line. Stopped by number 13. Oh, who else? Shannon Brown, Mark.
Brian Johnson also was the first player at contact for Cook. He's wearing number 4. Got a hand in on the ankle, stayed with the play, and got in on the tackle at the end of the play.
Coming down to 10 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Karkuff in the shotgun. Wide receivers split 1 to each side. On 3rd and 5, Karkuff arcs the ball up in the end zone. Intercepted by number 23. Check that, number 6 of Cook. And that is
deep play downfield, trying to get the ball to Max Williams of Lovett. Cook did an excellent job of making the interception right in the middle, in the corner of the end zone.
Great defensive play by Johnson. And Cook will take over 1st and 10. And the handoff to Thad Williams. Thad trying to break out of traffic, turns directions. Now he's got some open field. There's Thad Williams. And he gets to about the 45-yard line. Finally stopped by number 6, Sean Binu.
Off the interception, the first big play for Cook as Thad Williams started that play to the right, changed his mind, brings it to the left and all the way outside to the 43-yard line and the first down. Here's the change of mind by Williams, a little bit of a shake inside, and then has enough speed to get to the sideline, pick up a block by Trenton Payne along the way.
Williams coming off a big game against GAC in the 3rd round. He had 249 yards rushing. He also caught a 32-yard touchdown pass. Meantime, this is Brown straight up the gut. Shannon Brown. He picks up another first down, and it looks like the Hornets are starting to roll as Johnny Topping, number 34, makes the stop.
as he has done all afternoon. Shannon Brown, nothing fancy, taking the inside handoff right over tackle and just bullying his way downfield for another Cook first down.
23 yards on the play. Here you see it again, straight up the middle. And Brown, nothing fancy about it. He's going to say, I'm coming straight at you, boys. 1st and 10. The ball is spotted at the 33 of Lovett. Inside handoff, it's Thad Williams again. Williams gets to about the 26-yard line. Stopped by number 7, Winston Gandy.
Amazing how the body language has suddenly changed for Cook, Jim. Coming off the interception in the end zone, all of a sudden their offense now has life.
It's like a new football team. Coach Jim Scroggins had some good words to say in the locker room, and these guys are taking it to him.
Even the way they're breaking the huddle, they're rushing to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 3. Payne on the keeper, and he gets to about the 22-yard line.
As we have noticed from time to time, the offense can sometimes be dictated by the momentum or the enthusiasm of the center. That time the center, 64, Cody Greason of Cook, first man at the line of scrimmage, first man throwing a block.
There you see the Cook offense getting together. They're looking at to see if it's a first down, so they'll bring the chain gang on to see what's happening here, see how close this is and whether or not they have it.
This is going to be very close. Looks like they may have it by the bare nose of a football.
You're usually pretty good at calling this. Yeah, what do you know? Right on the nose there, partner. Pardon the pun. So a big 1st and 10 for Cook at the 23-yard line. Big possession for the Hornets to get on the board right away. DJ Payne under center. Williams in motion. Now here's Williams with the ball. Trying to cut the corner. Cannot. What a tackle by number 6, Sean Bino.
Credit the pursuit also. Rico Braxton of Lovett worked his way down the line of scrimmage as we have the player down for Cook. Braxton wears number 30 and just works his way down the line. You see him in the corner of the screen out of the right. Doesn't make the tackle, but gets the pressure to force that play wide.
Thad Williams, number 5, the player that ran the ball, and that one is the player down.
Williams might have taken a helmet-to-helmet hit as he is very slow getting back up.
That's exactly what it was, and his helmet was drilled right into the turf there, yeah. So both teams talk it over as the trainers are with Thad Williams. All right, folks, we'll take a timeout while the teams on the field take a timeout and be back with more of the AA semifinal right after this. Back here at the Georgia Dome, and Thad Williams is walking off the field, so looks like he's going to be okay. There he is, and trying to get that left leg moving a little bit better than what it is right now. There's Coach Jim Scroggins a little concerned about that. Thad Williams has been his big player in the postseason. All right, Cook goes back on offense, 2nd and 9 at the 23-yard line. Handoff up the middle. That's Shannon Brown again, and Brown gets just inside the 20.
If Campbell Wilson does not make that shoe top tackle, Wilson has more real estate to the near sideline. There was only one remaining Lovett defender left between him and the end zone. Here's the run. You see the tackle, and he holds on, just tripping up the running back.
So they go back up to the 20-yard line now. 3rd and 7 for Cook. One wide out to the left. Inside handoff, misdirection to number 3, Jornado Harris. And Harris maybe picks up a yard or two. Good defense by Lovett as Cook gets inside the red zone.
Johnny Topping for Lovett, a little bit slow getting up, favoring his right leg now. A lot of those players, the undersized defenders for Lovett. Topping is only 5'10", 176, but he lines up inside.
So now an important decision for Jim Scroggins and the Cook Hornets. 4th and 5, need a big play here to keep this drive alive and put some points on the board.
Topping heads to the sideline now. He's replaced by number 38, Zach Wolf.
Payne now calls timeout, doesn't like what he sees on the defense. And so the Cook Hornets will go to the sideline and talk it over with head coach Jim Scroggins. About 6 minutes to go till the end of the third quarter.
I have to give you credit. This is your 10th year, 11th year?
11th year, buddy. All right, here we go. Cook on offense on 4th and 5. Big play. And it's incomplete. He was going for Tippins. Payne to Tippins, incomplete. And Cook will lose the ball. There's Payne right there, getting up slowly. Looks like he's going to be okay, and Lovett will take over on downs, 1st and 10.
Lovett comes up with a huge defensive stand just as Cook was feeling some momentum. Their defense comes up large. They take over at the 18-yard line.
There's head coach Mike Muschamp. 1st and 10 for Lovett at the 18-yard line. Fake handoff, and it's Karkoff on the keeper. Picks up about 3 yards.
Karkoff just got blasted by number 4, Ryan Johnson of Cook. The linebacker came in at the last moment. It was fortunate that Karkoff was able to hold on to the ball, seeing that tackle come in from really the blind side.
Second and 7 for Lovett. Karkoff, handoff up the middle. That's Andre Hicks again. And he picks up a couple of yards on the play.
Another interesting call, Jim, coming up a 3rd and 4, not for Lovett, but for the Cook defense.
Let's go defense!
Third and 4. Bo Anderson with the call, and doesn't get quite far at all on that play. Stopped at the 25-yard line. The Cook defense playing tough out of the gate there, Mark.
Treon Arnold did an excellent job of reading the play, getting into the backfield, and wrapping up for actually a loss on the play of about a yard for Lovett, which will force them into a punt formation.
So it's a 4th and 3, and Cook looking to get the ball back in decent field position. 4th and 3. Back to punt number 82, Michael Steele. High end over end kick. Back to field it is number 2, Michael Henley. Takes it on 2 bounces. Henley looking for an opening. Can't find one. Now he goes right side. Might be a penalty flag on a clip. This one might come back. Henley in the meantime still off to the races, and Henley is gone. But Mark, I got a funny feeling this one's going to be called back because of a clip.
All the way back at the 20-yard line. There's a yellow piece of laundry as the block was thrown by one of the Cook return players. We don't have a 6 on our roster, but as the cutback, there's the block right there, right in the shoulder. That may be Thompson for Cook. The ball was returned all the way for an apparent touchdown by Michael Henley, but it's coming all the way back.
So this one will come back.
Coach Jim Scroggins trying to point to the scoreboard to say the officials. I saw what happened.
Here's the play again. There's the block right there.
Now the standard rule of thumb, Jim, is if you can see the players' numerals, you try to stay off those.
Well, in any case, Cook will get backed up to their 11-yard line, and that's where they'll begin 1st and 10 on this one. And there's Coach Scroggins. Has a lot of football history in the state of Florida. First year here at Cook. TJ Payne, handoff, that's Shannon Brown. Brown breaks one tackle and is brought down right around the 12-yard line.
Coach Jim Scroggins has got to be feeling he can't get a break. He gets his first huge play on the run back, only to be canceled out by the illegal block in the back.
Meantime, that clock keeps ticking away. This game's going by quick there, Mark. 2nd and 8 as we approach 3 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Payne back to pass, looks downfield, has a man, overthrows number 16, Tim Rowe.
Rowe working against Justin Cyprin of Lovett. Really had excellent position, only about 2 yards off of the attempted route. Pass was thrown about 4 yards too long for the receiver. Brings up an interesting 3rd and long call now for Cook.
So we have a 3rd down and 8 at the 13-yard line. 2 wide outs, 1 to each side. Here's Payne. Handoff. Thad Williams maybe picks up a couple of yards on the play. And it'll be a 4th down for Cook.
Not much, as the Lovett defense was playing run all the way. Knowing that Cook has struggled a bit in its passing offense, they simply loaded up the line of scrimmage and got the stop they wanted deep in Cook territory.
Seems like Thad Williams is still favoring that left leg. To punt is Josh Miles for Cook. Back deep is number 1, Andre Hicks for Lovett. And the snap goes over the head of Josh Miles, and that'll be worth 2 points to Lovett.
When it rains, it pours for Cook as the snap sailed about 3 yards over the outstretched arms of the punter, which will give Lovett now a 26-0 score. And the bad news continues as Cook will have to kick.
A free kick.
Lovett.
Yep, that's right. There's Coach Scroggins talking with some of his ball players. So 26-0 Lovett as they pick up 2 as the ball gets snapped over the punter's head of Josh Miles. And with 2:17 left.
This is the point in the game, Jim, where a coach's biggest challenge is to keep his players focused on the game. They're obviously going to be a little bit dejected. So Coach Scroggins is really doing everything he can to keep his team motivated. Yep.
So we got a free kick coming from the 20-yard line. Obviously, Lovett's going to have great field position, Mark.
Bit of confusion also on Cook's kick coverage team as they're working in last-minute substitutions.
Yeah, they got 11 now. Last one to come on was Tippins.
They had 9 for a good 30 seconds.
Now they're ready to go. And Josh Miles will kick it away. End-over-end kick, fielded at the 35 by Andre Hicks. Hicks at the 45-50. Hicks is breaking tackles. Hicks could go all the way. He's at the 30. One man to beat at the 20. And down goes Andre Hicks. Good play by TJ Payne on the special teams.
On that last play, you could tell the free kick is not something that Cook has practiced a lot. They came to the line where the punter had the ball, and you could see the uncertainty among the players that were lined up to attack the return, which they didn't do a very good job of. And as a result, Lovett takes the run by Hicks all the way down to the Cook 20-yard line.
Good run back by Andre Hicks. That brings up a 1st and 10 at the 20. 45-yard punt return by Hicks. Meantime, Taylor Mack on the handoff, doesn't get far. Stop. Good play by number 32, Creon Arnold.
Now that's a football play. You're down big, and you expect one of your players to come up large. Arnold makes a huge tackle 5 yards deep in the backfield.
With the 5-yard loss, it'll be a 2nd and 15 for Lovett. Here it is again. Great tackle by Arnold.
Arnold got around the block of Bo Anderson, who had responsibility. Did an excellent job of wrapping up.
Call it 2nd and 16 for the Lions. Karkov looks over the left side, incomplete. I believe that ball was tipped. Intended receiver was Williams, number 23, Max Williams.
Isn't it the first time this afternoon, Jim, that Karkov has taken some serious contact after releasing the ball? Seemed to come out of his hands a little bit awkwardly, about 5 yards underthrown. Another 3rd and large call for Lovett coming up.
3rd and 16. If you remember, Jack Hall earlier kicked a 35-yard field goal, and we saw he could kick that thing 50 yards, so it's almost in his range. But 30-16 for Lovett. Karkov rolls left, looks downfield, fires left sideline, has a man. That's Max Williams. He makes the catch at the 17-yard line.
Judging from the spot, Jim, he will come up about 7 yards shy of a 1st down. Lovett, with just over a minute remaining in this 3rd quarter, has another scoring opportunity. It looks like they're bringing on their big field goal kicker once again.
Yep, Jack Hall back into the game. Earlier, he kicked a 35-yard field goal. And now on this 4th and 7 play, it'll be a 34-yard field goal attempt by Jack Hall. There you see the numbers for Jack. He's the senior. A 34-yard attempt. This kick is up, and this thing's still traveling to Alpharetta.
You know your field goal kicker has talent when everyone else on the unit has black shoes and your kicker is wearing red.
Absolutely. Hall connects on the 34-yarder. Lovett now takes the lead 29-0 with 1 minute to go in the 3rd quarter, Mark.
Lovett, just a steady offensive output. We talked about their numbers coming into the game. Both teams, Jim, with over 3,000 total yards for the season, but Lovett, just with a little bit more diversity to its offensive attack, has really been able to take advantage.
There you see the Lovett fans. I'll tell you what, Mark, you talk about athletics, but academics also play a key role. 13 starters on this Lovett team are part of the scholars list or the headmasters list. On the headmasters list, you have to have a 94 average or higher, which equivalents to 3.75 GPA on a 4-point scale. Michael Steele is that person, number 82. And then there's 12 others: Andre Hicks, Jonathan Karkov, Justin Cyprian, Rico Braxton, Johnny Toppin, and the list goes on of all these guys that have qualified for the scholars list. And all those guys are starters. So great recognition for Lovett in the classroom as well as on the playing field. Ryan Johnson returns the kickoff back to the 21-yard line for Cook. And I'll tell you what, Mark, I mean, it's important. I mean, the athletics is important, but that academics will take you a lot further in life.
No question. And knowing what these players have to go through from the early months of August all the way through where we are now in December, it's quite a sacrifice when you consider what you have to go through to not only deliver on the football field, but deliver in the classroom.
And of course, the guys from Adel, they have the same thing on their side of the ball. They have a lot of great academics to report on as well. So these great scholar athletes doing a great job on the playing field. Shannon Brown with the carry, and he is knocked out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. They're going to mark it. As we count it down here in the 3rd quarter, Lovett all the way in this one, 29-0 over Cook, as the Hornets try to get things rolling.
Just to pick up on your point, what we are seeing this afternoon and yesterday, we're seeing the best of the best. but all of the athletes that make those sacrifices to play football or any varsity sport really have to be commended, because it is more than a notion.
Oh, yeah.
It's put forth 3 hours a day, every day while you're attending class.
Absolutely. 2 a days, then you go home and do homework, and it makes for a long day. But these guys, I'll tell you what, they're dedicated. 1st and 10. And it's Brown again, straight up the gut. Shannon Brown has nobody in between them, and now finally brought down by number 21, Justin Cyprian, as he came from the sidelines.
Shannon Brown
tackle
up the middle, running with authority. Nothing fancy as he's done all afternoon in between the tackles, and once he gets into open space, it's a foot race. 3 players from Lovett in pursuit. He takes a shot on his ankle, was a little bit gimpy getting up, goes back to the huddle just a little bit slow, but a tremendous run that time by Shannon Brown of Cook.
47 yards on the play. And what a run by that man, Shannon Brown, and that puts him the century mark for the day. What a day for the freshman. 11 carries, 100 yards. Here's the handoff, number 24. It's Randy Merritt. That's his 3rd call of the day, and Randy's had a decent day for Cook. As the Hornets continue to roll, now they're in the red zone of Lovett. Let's see how tough the Lions get, as they've been tough all day long in that red zone.
Staying within their personality and simply running the football.
And welcome back to the Georgia Dome. Lovett leading it after 3 quarters, 29-0. I tell you what, it takes a lot to put these games together. We're going to be telling you about that here in just a minute, about how GPB, the entire staff, and what happens behind the scenes to set these games up. It's been an incredible thing over the weekend. Here's Brown again on the carry, and Brown gets into about the right around the 11-yard line, stopped by number 21, Justin Cyprian.
There really wasn't a lot of blocking for Brown on the left side, but he did a lot on extra effort, not being denied, as he comes about a half yard shy of picking up the 1st down.
I really didn't want him to go in on
3rd and 1 for Cook. Brown again. And I think they held him.
Sean Bino, number 6 for Lovett, was the first player at the point of attack. And as you mentioned, Jim, it will look a bit shy. They're going to bring out the chains, it seems, for another measurement. This one may be a little bit closer based on the spot, but watch number 6, Sean Bino, get to the point of attack, get his helmet squared up, and keep on pushing for the stop. Here's the measurement.
Folks, I wanted to tell you that if you want to get a chance to look inside the coverage of GPB's football, 30 hours of football down here at the Georgia Dome, you got to check out Score Atlanta, this week's edition, for the story. It's a great, great story about what happens behind the scenes of getting ready for the football games here at GPB. We thank Score Atlanta and what they do covering high school football each and every day. So thanks so much to Score Atlanta and for promoting GPB's football coverage here in Atlanta. Payne over the middle and incomplete.
Payne was trying to hit Tippins, running a circle route downfield. Ball was tipped by a Lovett lineman at the last possible moment.
Adam Whitlock with the tip, number 45. So a 2nd and 10 for Cook at the 11-yard line. Looking for their first score of the day. There's TJ Payne, the quarterback of the Hornets. He'll be graduating after this season. Payne to Thad Williams, and what a tackle by number 30, Rico Braxton. Mark, wow.
Coach has talked about Rico Braxton's motor being a little bit inconsistent, but he shows what he can do on that last play, filling the line of scrimmage, playing off the tackle, and making the hit.
Good play by Braxton. 3rd and 12. The Lions just get tougher and tougher in that red zone. Another great shot of TJ Payne. Payne rolls right, looks for a man, has one. That's Kenny Tippins. And it looks like they're going to call it a catch, and Tippins is slow getting up.
As he received that pass, Tippins made the catch and may have just landed on the ball, temporarily losing his wind right there in the gut. Stays down for an extra count. It's not a good feeling when you land on that football. Not much give to it, especially on this artificial turf.
Another timeout on the field as they're attending to Tippins. 29-0 Lovett over Cook. And I'll tell you what, it's been a good football game. Both offenses, we expected a big offensive explosion. Cook's just had some bad breaks here and there. But the Lions, boy, they're looking good. There's Tippins coming off the field.
Tippins coming to the sideline. But as you mentioned, sometimes, Jim, you have a team that is so run-heavy like Cook is. It's difficult for them to play from behind. They've tried to stay within their personality. Had a few unfortunate turnovers, which have really set them back. The penalty call on the kick return was also a big play against Cook.
So it brings up a 4th and 6, and there you see the 4th down conversions. Cook 2 of 4 today. Lovett has been perfect. 4th and 6 as the Hornets try to get on the board. Payne drops back. Little screen play over the middle. That's Thad Williams, and Thad Williams stretches, and he's down at about the 1-foot line. And that should be enough for a first down.
Once again, another Cook player, very slow getting up. A tremendous effort to make the catch and then reach as far as possible, trying to get to the end zone. Watch the end of the play. And here's the stretch. Comes up about 10 inches shy of the goal line.
But yet I think it's going to be enough for a first down. They might bring out the chain gang to take a look at it. It's going to be close, but a good stretch by Williams. Here they come. All right, how close you calling it there, Mark?
It got it.
There you go.
Piece of cake.
There you go. That extra stretch by Thad Williams sets the Hornets up for a 1st and goal inside the 1.
Cook showing a full house backfield. No wide receivers.
All right, here they are digging in on near the goal line on 1st and goal for Cook. And it's TJ Payne over the top. Touchdown, Hornets.
Payne took the snap, slide step to his left, right over center, gets elevated and into the end zone for the first score for Cook.
Will Dobbins on to attempt the extra point. Now they go for 2. The snap out left side, and good for 2 points.
Tevin Sims on the pitch and into the end zone for Cook.
So Tevin Sims scores on the 2-point conversion, and it's 29-8. Good play by the Hornets.
They showed a different look coming out of the huddle with everyone lined up to the right. At the last minute, they shifted left and found Sims on the pitch into the end zone.
And with that 2-point conversion, it's now a Cook's got to score 3 times to even this thing up. And hey, anything's possible.
Well, if you're head coach Jim Scroggins, what you like to see is the extra effort coming up.
There it is, 9 plays, 78 yards, 3 minutes, 14 seconds off the clock. And of course, Payne takes it in from a yard out for the Cook Hornets. Mark?
To finish that thought, coming up on defense now. Cook really wants to try to get another stop. They're trying to play this game in small chunks rather than looking at getting the scores back all at once. You want to see if you can get another defensive stand.
The Cook Hornets from Adel, Georgia, just above the Florida line, made about a trip of 250 miles. Meantime, there it is, head coach Mike Muschamp and his Lubbock Lions. And it looks like they're going to be getting set for a rematch with Buford in the championship game if the Hornets can't come back in this one. 9:46 to go, and here's your kickoff, and they're going for a little squib kick, and it's fielded by the Lubbock Lions. Number 2, Frank Keith, just fell on it to make sure there was no fumble involved, and the Lions will take over 1st and 10.
Karkoff comes into the huddle after the discussion with his coach, Mike Muschamp. Again, we're operating in that point of the field where Muschamp can really establish eye contact with his quarterback at the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10 at the 42. Karkoff in the shotgun. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left, men in motion, and it's Karkoff on the keeper, and he gets to about the 45-yard line. Good play by Jonathan Karkoff. Hard to believe the game he's having, and he's just a sophomore, Mark.
What's interesting, Muschamp must feel like he's under center himself, because when Lubbock comes to the line of scrimmage, he's surveying the defense just as the quarterback would, and Karkoff turns to his head coach on the sideline to see what the last-minute call would be, adjusting to that defensive alignment.
So a 2nd down and 8 at the 45.
Every time you see Karkoff look to the right, he's looking for his coach.
Handoff, it's Andre Hicks, and he's caught up in the backfield. Good defensive play by number 25, Waylon Chester.
Nothing fancy for Lubbock at this point, Jim, just going into ball control mode. A 3rd and long call coming up. Lubbock has been really content to go with a tight formation on the last 2 series.
Jonathan Karkoff. Great game for the sophomore. 3rd and 9. Andre Hicks again, crossing midfield, fighting tacklers off, and now gets to about the 47, 48-yard line. We'll call it the 47. Good pickup by Hicks.
One of the first blockers downfield for Lubbock. Big number 59, Kyle Casey, leading that play. And it seems as Lubbock will have enough to pick up the 1st down.
Karkoff getting the plays called in by head coach Mike Muschamp. There's a shot of Andre Hicks and his numbers on the day. Good day for the senior. Karkoff checking off at the line of scrimmage. Handoff, Hicks. Hicks straight up the gut. There's a flag on the play. This one might come back. Hicks down to the 20, inside the 15. Knocked down by Thompson.
Flag, as you mentioned, Jim, all the way back at the 49-yard line, thrown as that play was just starting to develop.
And this one's coming back. It's against the Lions.
We have an illegal formation, 6 men on the line of scrimmage.
So they bring this one all the way back. And it'll be back in Lubbock territory at their own 47-yard line. And that's what will be 1st and 15 for the Lions.
One of the few penalties we've seen all afternoon thrown against the Lubbock offense. They've really been efficient.
They've got a great balanced attack, Mark. Karkoff, handoff. And that's Bo Anderson. Bo maybe picks up a yard.
First player getting up in the middle of that scrum for Cook High. Josh Miles in on the tackle wearing number 33.
Josh is also the punter.
Lovett very deliberate in their offensive play calls, trying to use up as much of the game clock as possible.
We have reached 7 minutes and counting to the end of this one. Good shot at Karkoff. Karkoff on the keeper. And he gets into Cook territory at about the 49-yard line. Clock continues to run. That's what Lovett wants.
Give credit to Jonathan Crocker also, Jim, for just running this offense. It's interesting to note how he and his coach really get in sync on play calls. They have an initial play call, and then when he comes up to the line of scrimmage, he has a chance to make a second check to the sideline to see if the coach wants to stay with the play that's been called.
That's right. Coach Mike Muschamp.
There's a hand signal. Good shot, guys.
Yep. Good shot there. On 3rd and 12. That's Taylor Mack doing a little dancing, trying to break free. Gets to about the 48-yard line. And Cook calls timeout to stop the clock. All right, back to punt is number 82, Michael Steele. He's back at his own 39. And back deep is Michael Henley for Cook. End over end kick. This one's going to be short and angled out of bounds. And this one will be marked somewhere around the 30-yard line, and the 30-yard line it is. Here you see the Lovett fans that are here to cheer on their Lions. Under 6 minutes to go in this AA semifinal game, with the winner to play Buford for the state championship next weekend.
Cook being led back onto the field by their quarterback, T.J. Payne. Had a decent afternoon, but in this run-heavy offense, they've really struggled against the Lovett Lions.
All right, here's Payne under center. Payne rolls right. Looks like he's going to keep it. 35, 40. Payne's got some open field. Tried to turn the corner and stay in bounds, and finally knocked out of bounds right at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Payne entered the game with 206 rushing yards on the season. Not known as being a primary ball carrier, but that time got to the sideline and showed a little burst of speed, picked up enough for another first down.
$20-yard run by T.J. Payne. There you see Payne's numbers on the day. 10 rushes, 59 yards, and a touchdown for the senior quarterback. 1st and 10 at midfield. Got a man in motion, and now the end-around toss. And now downfield it goes, an open man, and that's Kenny Tippins. Shannon Brown hits Kenny Tippins downfield. Excuse me, Tim Rowe, number 16, hits Tippins downfield. What a great play call here.
Not every day of the week you see a reverse to the running back and a long pass downfield that was really underthrown. He had to slow up, come back for the ball, made the reception, and Cook picks up another first down.
Good throw by Rowe. The play covers 29 yards. 1st and 10. Cook at the 21-yard line of Lovett. Payne rolls left. Looking to run the ball. Trying to turn the corner. Trying to escape a tackler. Does the first one, but not the second. He's knocked out at the 22-yard line.
Payne trying to run around the block of Jake Robinson of Cook, wearing number 62. Tried to get as much as he could to the sideline. That was really a run design all the way for the quarterback.
Jim Scroggins sending in the next play. Quick score here, onside kick. Hey, you never know, Mark, right? All right, here it is. TJ Payne under center, 2nd and 11. Rolls right, fires, has a man. That's number 1, Apollo Harris. And Harris gets the first down inside the 5-yard line.
Harris working against number 24, Clay Coolidge of Lovett. Did an excellent job of coming back for the ball that was really thrown a little bit behind him. Gets inside the 5-yard line, so Cook all of a sudden is finding some rhythm on offense in the 4th quarter.
And check that, of course, as you can see in your monitors there, Jonado Harris is the man who made the reception on that play. 1st and goal for Cook. And on the keeper, it's Payne, touchdown.
Give credit to number 7, Ken Tippins, the wide receiver who turned into a lead blocking back in the middle of the field for Cook, allowing the running back to get in for the 2nd score.
Hornets going for a 2-point conversion. The snap goes to the right side, and it's a touchdown. It's a 2-point conversion. Number 16, Tim Rowe. Completes the pass. They get 2 points, and now it's a 29-16 game, Mark.
An unusual looking play as they lined up the entire front wall to the left and brought number 69, Willis Fuzel, an offensive lineman, into the end zone. Makes an excellent catch. Now, that's not a catch an offensive lineman is known for making, but Fuzel makes the reception and the 2-point conversion for Cook High.
Jeremy Kendrick is the one that caught the ball in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So there you have it. A 29-16 game. I think I see an onside kick coming up. What do you think, Mark?
The last 2 times, Cook it hasn't really been an onside, more of a squib kick, trying to get it beyond the forward wall, hopefully trying to get the ball bouncing free behind that forward wall and see what happens after that.
Still plenty of time. Anything can happen with 4:52 to go, and Cook needing 2 scores to win. Kicking off for Cook, it'll be Will Dobbins. And everybody's up for the Lovett Lions. There isn't one player past the 35-yard line for Lovett. Here's the onside kick. And it looks like Rico Braxton falls right on it. And Lovett will take over 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Rico Braxton, Mark, has had a game.
Tremendous game by Braxton. We featured him in the open. Great call by the guys down the truck. We're really featuring the players to look for at the beginning of this game.
So 1st and 10 for the Lions, and all they're going to do is try and use as much clock as possible. There's your quarterback for the day, Jonathan Karkoff. Big day under that head coach, Mike Muschamp. Inside handoff, it goes Andre Hicks, and Hicks is around the right side trying to break free. Hicks gets inside the 40, finally brought down by number 2, Michael Henley.
If Henley doesn't make that tackle, there's another 15 yards to be tacked on that run. Henley did an excellent job of showing the patience to really wait for the running back to come into the angle that he was taking and make the tackle.
So another 1st and 10 for the Lions as the clock continues to run. 4:35 and counting. 2 wideouts to the left, 2 backs in the backfield for Karkoff. And this one goes up the middle. Andre Hicks with the carry. Good day for Andre Hicks as well, as we are now under 4 minutes and counting.
Like a Sam linebacker.
Entire coaching staff for Cook doing everything they can to keep their players into the game, even though we're under 4 minutes to play. They're really focused and trying to keep that intensity high.
2nd and 7. Karkuff in the shotgun. Handoff, Andre Hicks. Hicks still on his feet, gets to about the 30-yard line. Andre's had a great postseason, making big plays throughout the entire year, both offensively and defensively. 16 carries, 102 yards today for the senior running back. Third and 3. And it looks like Cook jumped offside. Five-yard penalty moves the ball to the 25-yard line.
Encroachment on the defense will give us first down.
And with that, a first down for the Lions. And head coach Mike Mustrump is saying, okay, guys, just keep running that clock. Just keep running the clock. Karkuff checking off at the line of scrimmage on 1st and 10. And the handoff is Hicks, and Hicks maybe picks up a couple of yards as we get under 2 minutes and 30 seconds to play.
You can still hear the coaches on the Cook sideline shouting encouragement to their defense. They're really doing everything they can just to stay in this game. They're coaching it like it's the first quarter.
Absolutely. And hats off to the Hornets defense too. I mean, they're out there playing their best, try to stop these Lions and get that ball back. Under 2 minutes to go now as Karkuff is back into the shotgun. Karkuff on the keeper. And Karkuff gets to about the 22-yard line. And the stop by number 33, Josh Miles. There's the Cook coaches looking to call a timeout. And they get that timeout called with 1:35 to go.
Timeout. Cook County, last timeout.
Before the game, we had a chance to catch up with Coach Jim Scroggins, and he told us what he likes about coaching.
Well, this will be my 32 years as a head coach, and watching the youngsters come from the beginning to the end is a real pleasure, and building the relationships with them so that they'll remember and try to execute some of the important values that we teach. Showing up on time, being there. I tell them it's my job to love them and their job to love each other, and if we'll do that and we'll listen, we might become a good football team.
Coach Jim Scroggins, what a great year, great job, first-year coach for Cook. All right, 1:35 to play as we bring this one home. 3rd and 7, and the handoff is to Hicks. He's going to try and break it outside. Andre Hicks, and he gets inside the 10, down to about the 6-yard line. Good stop by number 2, Michael Henley.
If you need to know anything about Andre Hicks, watch the body lean at the end of this play. Took contact at about the 5-yard line and just kept moving forward. He really delivered a blow of his own at the end of the play. He takes the pitch, gets to the outside, fends off one defender with a stiff arm. Watch the shoulder pads. Bam! Right there.
So a 1st and goal for Leavitt. They mark it at the 6. And I think Karkup might just sit on this one here. One takes one knee, and the clock continues to run.
Jim, well, let me just say it's been fun working with you again after a 2-year absence.
Absolutely, buddy. Great job. Great job. And what a great game by these players and coaches. And to see these fans, I mean, look at the Leavitt fans. They can smell championship coming up next week.
Both sets of fans on their feet applauding their respective teams.
And that's the one thing you got to love about high school sports. It's just it's incredible how the support is there on both sides. And that should do it. As the clock is under 20, both teams start to get on the field, and handshakes in order as the two head coaches congratulate each other for making it to the Georgia Dome. Of course, Mike Muschamp and the Leavitt Lions head to the next round, go to the championship game to take on Buford. What a game that's going to be. That's my favorite part, Mark. All the players with the handshakes after the game, congratulating each other for a great, great season. And welcome back to the Georgia Dome. Leavitt wins it 29-16. Lisa Weiss is downstairs. Lisa?
Joining me now is a very excited Leavitt head coach, Mike Muschamp. Mike, what is going through your brain right now?
An awful lot of different thoughts. I'm so proud of our kids, the resiliency they showed during the second half when Cook came out and did what we thought they could possibly do, and we just stood up and made some good plays at the end to pull it out.
Does it still feel kind of surreal to you to get to this point and play in a state championship game?
Very much so. My feet are not touching the ground. They probably won't until next Saturday.
Then what can you say about your kids and how they hung in there today and what they did on this field?
Our kids are great kids. They work awfully hard, and it starts in January when they're getting the weight room with Coach Stuckey, and they work all the way through the year, and they just do an outstanding job. They're tough in the mind, and they're strong in the body, and we're so proud of them right now. I can't really put it into words.
Enjoy this win, Coach. You deserve it. Good luck next week.
Thank you very much.
Jim, back to you.
All right, thank you, Lisa. Special thanks to Lisa Weiss, Mark Lassiter. I'm Jim Ginocchio for the entire GPB staff down here at the Georgia Dome. Thanks for watching. Leavitt wins it 29-16. More football coming up at the top of the hour. So long, everybody.